Hello and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. It's all gone very odd. It's all gone very odd in Blackpool, out there somewhere. Somewhere out there. There should be the sea, and it's got lost in the fog. It's the sea fret, I think, that's blowing in. It's quite warm. You can see how warm it is. I've got rid of the big winter coat and I've got my jacket on. But it's lovely. At least it's not raining and windy. And we're on Blackpool North Promenade. I think this is North Promenade. Yeah, this is North Promenade, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pop a comment underneath. And we're looking at the old buildings and the state of the nation. The state of the nation in Blackpool. So I'm going to take you for a little walk. We're going to walk around a little bit of the seafront that we've not seen for a little while. And before we do that, I'm going to ask you to subscribe. I'm going to ask you to like the video. I'm going to ask you to hit the bell for the notifications and sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter. So it's visitfyldecoast.info/newsletter. And then you'll get all the latest tittle tattle and gossip and whatnot straight into your inbox. So let's go for a little walk, shall we? Let's go and see if we can see the tower. I don't think you can see much further than the end of your arm, to be honest. So this one's all about North Promenade and a new conservation area, because North Promenade has been put on the at-risk register by Historic England, and apparently they visited in 2023 and they were a little bit discombobulated by the state of quite a few of the buildings. And you remember that we've done nothing but keep saying, what's happening with this building over here? Well, I've been and asked, because I'm nosy like that. It's very strange, this mist. The tower should be somewhere there straight in front of us, and it's just completely disappeared, but it's very bright. So Blackpool Council, getting back to the subject in hand, Blackpool Council has formally approved the designation of North Shore as a conservation area. So it runs from Cocker Street, which is just down there at the side of, it's at Cocker Square. So there's a little tiny car park not far from the Metropole. It's just across from the Metropole. So it runs all the way from down there, all the way down the promenade and the seafront, right up to Bispam, up to Colonnades, which is just at the left of Red Bank Road, which is where the big illuminations arch is. And it means that the council have got more powers to take more action against people that have got buildings that are falling to bits. Anyway, I've just been across and asked the guy in this little blue van what's happening, because the previous people seemed to just about take the building to bits from the inside. They did a lot of work. They've done most of the rendering on the front. It looks like a base coat because you can see the wiggle on it. They've done a lot of work. They've done a lot of work internally. You can see that they've stripped it all out. And then everything just stopped. They disappeared. Nothing happened. And it just got left for ages and ages. And apparently it's going to be Airbnb properties, which is interesting. It's quite a big building. It's 4, what used to be 4 separate terraced properties. This one's having a bit of a makeover. I don't know whether that's a part of Belgravia care home. I seem to think that had been a care home at one point. But it's having new windows put in upstairs, and they're doing a lot of painting work. So that'll look much better as well. That will be a big improvement. But there are quite a lot of vacant and dilapidated buildings in this stretch, which is an awful shame, because it's really architecturally quite interesting. I mean, when you look at this Belgravia care home, it's obviously an original Art Deco building. Same for Hotel Belvedere. If you look beyond the roof extension and the porch at the front, you can see how lovely a building they must have been back in the day when they were built. And there's loads of really interesting architecture around here, and a lot of it has just been neglected, which is a terrible shame. And these cream walls at the left of us here, I'm not going down there, I draw the line. This is the top of the Colonnades. So underneath here, not in this section I don't think, but further round, there's an underneath, sort of like a porch, is perhaps the best way to describe it. You'll be able to see it when we get down here to the outbuild. So the colonnades all need refurbishing and repainting and looking after and bringing back to life. So Blackpool Council have gone through the consultation. I always think, just before I get onto that, I always think this one here on this corner must have been, just imagine back in the day when these were all new and they'd all got the beautiful faience tiles on them and they were all matching and they'd all got exactly the same finish. That building must have looked spectacular. This one's the nearest. Is it Long Ridge? This one in the middle is the nearest to the original design. And they must have looked absolutely beautiful as you came down to this junction here and you saw that sweep with all that lovely property at the side of it. They must have looked really stunning. So this designation, Blackpool Council have done all the consultation and talked to everybody and done everything that they're supposed to do. And this designation will, I can't look over there, it's too low, will enable them to take more action more quickly and prioritise early enforcement. These are some of the colonnades I was telling you about, look. And there's some on the lower walk and there's some on here, which is the middle walk. So if you just kind of go around there, they follow around on the seafront. And the problem with them is that they're all old original, built into the old sea wall. And of course they're in direct line of fire for all that the Irish Sea is going to throw at them. And they're a nightmare to maintain. They're just a nightmare to maintain. And being a designated conservation area will also enable the council and other local groups to apply for funding. It sort of highlights all the issues and makes people more aware of what the problems are. So this conservation area designation stretches, as I said, from, just past North Pier at Cocker Square up to Carlin Gate, which is just at the left of Red Bank Road. And you'll remember a lot of you actually joined us when we were covering the fire at Hackett's Hotel. This is Gin Roundabout. The Spitfires have gone back for some service work. And this is part of Jubilee Gardens. There you go. There's a sign, look, to say Jubilee Gardens. And this is all looked after by volunteers. I noticed these when I came through, aren't they lovely? Jubilee Gardens, home of Mr. Gentle Giant. That's lovely. It's a little Mr. Gentle Giant is sleeping. It's a little nook. Oh, they're lovely. Susie Snake. And it's all looked after by volunteers. This is the tribute to the police officers that got killed in the tragedy in 1983. And this is the Blue Light Memorial. This one. With the blue people on it. Look at all the wildlife. It's lovely. It's really, really pleasant. And there's a North Shore group, a kind of a community group. They're just going for community interest company status. And they're doing a lot of work to improve the area and highlight various different things. This is one of their illuminations, so they put lights in. There's another one up there, look, a green one. So there's a Friends of Jubilee Gardens that looks after the gardens. There's another group that looks after this memorial area. And then there's another group that is trying to look after the area as a whole, and get events and infrastructure and improvements made, etc. It's very good, that, isn't it? So that represents all of the emergency services. And this bench here is related to the ones that we've got in Cleveland's, and was also provided by Paul and Sharon Clark. So down here you've got all these really big hotels and holiday places, which, to be fair, must be a nightmare to maintain. I mean, imagine what it costs you to maintain your own little house or flat or whatever it is you live in, and then multiply it by a building that big. It must be like doing the Forth Bridge. But they're all really attractive. They're sort of late 1800s, most of them, when Blackpool was in its heyday and starting to really, really boom and thrive. And some of them, like the Granada Apartments, that used to be the Berkeley, and we did a vlog in there. And they're really, really nice inside. They're absolutely beautiful. So you've got places like that that are immaculately maintained, and then next door you've got the next two. So you've got properties like this. I think were they the Sherwood and the Queen's Gate that are really dilapidated and kind of, I mean, upstairs don't look bad, but the downstairs, particularly the left one, looks a mess, doesn't it? It doesn't do anything for the area. So it gives the council opportunity to take action against people that own properties like that. But it sounds like there's also as well going to be more scrutiny on the development of high quality holiday accommodation and potentially some change of use to quality residential, which won't be a bad thing at all, would it? So while I'm just walking up here, I thought we'd take a moment to pause at the Hackett's Hotel, because quite a few of you have asked what's happening with it. Well, there you go. Nothing. The Showboat have got their advertising van parked there, and there's some other vans parked at the back. And other than that, there's absolutely nothing happening. So whether it's up for sale as a development plot or what, I don't know. But then next door you've got the Cliffs, which is another beautiful building. And then so they carry on up to the casino. So I would imagine it will take quite some time for anything to start rumbling through. But at least steps are being put into place to do something about it. Steps are being started rather than just looking the other way and pretending that they've not noticed. So I hope you've enjoyed this little look around this end of North Shore. It's not that often that we come down here. So I thought we'd just have a look around. And of course it's no more May. More MOW, as in cutting the grass, which is why there are dandelions everywhere you go, because all these wildflowers, weeds to some, wildflowers to others, are all food for early bees and birds and insects and whatnot, and support the pollinators that we all rely on for our food. Don't forget, make sure that you've subscribed, make sure that you've hit the bell for notifications, and don't forget to sign up for your Visit Felt Coast email newsletter, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.